English is okay? Okay, perfect. So we'll continue in English. So yes, today we will talk about e-business and of course, what does it mean for your business? We will introduce what is e-business, and then we will speak about what is SMAC. It's a framework that could be interesting for you, which is based about social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. This is a framework that we will discuss how we can add value to your business. And then we will spend some time to discuss, just going to the agenda. So, as I said, introduction to e-business, and then we will spend some time on this framework, SMAC, and then we will have a session, a Q&A session. But of course, I can take questions as we go through the presentation. So there is no issue about just waiting up until the end to ask questions. Is that okay with you? Okay. Do you have any specific expectation that you want me to address apart from this framework or? Okay, perfect. So before
maybe we have 1 hour and then pause 5 minutes and then another maybe.
It's a good idea. Yes, we can have food and drink water. Okay, no problem. We can do this. But before jumping into this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me, if that's okay with you. So who am I? I'm French Moroccan, so I'm 40 years old, 22 in France and 18 in Morocco. And I went I'm an engineer in France. Did my engineering school in France straight after my baccalaureate, after my 18 years old. And then a few years after, so 10 years after, I did ESSEC Executive MBA with a young guy called Mr. Yang. So as you can see him here, so this is me, and Young Bay is here. I'm married. I have 2 kids. They are 3 and 5 years old. I love golf. So I need to play with every competitor here. So I love golf. I play a lot around Paris.
You can join with our.
Happy to do so. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I love pool as well. So pool. So this is a passion since I was very young. Basketball, running, and also traveling all around the world. So as you can see here, Singapore, Sweden, Mexico, Abidjan in Ivory Coast, and bottom right, Chicago. And I have another passion, which is technology. So since the beginning of my career and my studies, always looking at technology and how it can bring value to business, always. So I started my career at Toyota, the car maker, Toyota Tsusho. So this is the distribution part, so a Japanese company. I think you all know it. So I spent 10 years in this company working in digital. So how to deploy digital solutions to bring value. So ERP, maybe you are familiar with this. So manage all the transactions around finance, supply chain, and manufacturing, and deploying this technology all around the world. Of course, around how to digitize processes, less manual work, automation, and so on and so forth. And we're going to discuss this. And then I joined the company, maybe you know it, it's called Accenture. Who knows Accenture here? Perfect. So Accenture, the biggest technology provider in the world, 750,000 people. So it's one of the biggest companies in terms of people. And what they do is really deploy technology. So every business in the world, they see technology. They want to have more market share. They want to have more efficiencies and productivity. They call Accenture, can you please help me? I worked for companies like Loxam during my MBA. By the way, they do industrial equipment rental. You can see them in Paris everywhere. So all the red machines, there are red machines everywhere. So everyone that wants to build let's say a building, they rent machines at Loxam. And then spend a lot of time at Vinci. Vinci is a construction company, global one. Spent a lot of time at Michelin. Michelin, they do tires. So this is when I was at Accenture. So really working on transforming their business with digital. And Danone also spent a lot of time at Danone to transform their manufacturing processes, supply chain, finance, as well sales and marketing. And then I left Accenture. This was in 2022. And then I joined a company called ServiceNow. This is where I am today. So as if you maybe you notice this is end user, so a client, so a company. This is a provider, technology provider, so they do integration, they deploy solutions. And this is the last kind of company in the technology space because they build technology. So it's what we call a software as a service provider. So what they do is they code, they create programs, and they sell it. And they ask Accenture, can you please deploy it at companies? So this was my career objective, which is to see the three lenses: a company that uses technology, a company that deploys technology, and a company that creates the technology. So ServiceNow, just to give you maybe just an idea of the size. So Toyota, no need to name it. It's more than hundreds of billion of revenue. Accenture, it's 60 billion of revenue, roughly speaking. And ServiceNow, it's a very fast-growing company. It's the fastest-growing company in the world because it's organic. They don't acquire any company, and it's 10 billion of revenue. And today, my role at ServiceNow is really to focus on sales, but not any sales. It's really let's say the transformation sales. So I'm looking at the business case, ROI. How much does it cost, and what do I get as a company? So really helping clients to draw roadmaps and say, in the next 5 years, what do I want to do with technology? And of course, what is the number of dollars I'm going to get? Be it cost reduction, if I'm looking at productivity, or be it revenue creation, if I'm going to a new business model, and so on and so forth. Of course, enabled with the technology. So this is basically me. Do you have any questions, just in case? No. Clear? Yeah. Okay. So now that I did this quick introduction, what is e-business? Because this is the topic of today. So we're going to spend some time to understand what is e-business, and look why e-business exists today and why it didn't exist before. That's a key topic, and what is the geopolitical human impact of e-business. And then we do a break, and then we will discuss what is this framework on how you can leverage e-business for your business. So e-business, we call it as well electronic commerce. It's buying and selling goods and services over internet. Okay, I think quite simple, but it's very important we align on this. It's what does it mean? It means servicing customers, collaborating with business partners, and also conducting these electronic transactions within an organization, as opposed to physical transaction, as opposed not to leverage internet. Okay? Are we clear on this concept of what is e-business? And then when we spoke about transaction, what are the types of transaction? So there are 3 types: B2B, business to business. Okay, I think you master this, know topic. And then there is B2C, business to customer. And then there is consumer to consumer. Okay, I think this is a new notion, but it's good to keep it in mind. This is a new thing, didn't exist before, I would say, but we will see the history of this. And then we have combinations, B2B2C. We have examples of this, or as well, government to customer. Okay, so this is typically ESTA. If you want to go to the US, you buy the visa, etc. You do it online today, or government to business. Okay, could be same thing, but a business buying services from the government. And then we have the machine to machine. You all heard about trading. So this is the kind of machine-to-machine transactions going through internet, and we call it Internet of Things. And then, how is it possible? Because at some point, you all have businesses. Some are not going to e-business. They wonder, yeah, why? How do we go to this? I think the first concept, which is very important, is the development of the internet. Okay, internet. Before 2001, nobody knew what's this evolution. So as we can see here in this graph, the number of users growth is exponential. Okay, as you can see here, there is this global number of internet users evolving, but at the same time, it's interesting to see the internet user growth. So I think we're going to a deployment of internet everywhere in the world. So we are getting close to everyone having access to internet. And it's interesting to keep in mind that in 1995, there was close to zero penetration. So there was no internet in a way. And you can see here the evolution in maybe your areas of business. Some of you, I guess, worked with USA, China, Europe, and the rest of the world. But as you can see here, there is clearly, as you can see here, China, 28%. This is quite interesting. So there are some countries that use more internet than others, and this is 2014. So as you can imagine, this went really clearly in this direction. So in a way, Asia may be more ready than other countries for internet. And then we're going to this information economy. Okay, this is again a new concept. As you can see here, just another graph, which is about data. So we have USB keys with gigabyte capacity, and zettabytes is 1 million more. So as you can see here, I think you have a note here. 1 petabyte is 1 million of gigabytes, and so on and so forth. So this is the unit of measuring the data capacity. And as you can see here, there is more and more digital content coming. And again, this is until 2016, and it's exponential, and it continued. So 2024, it's even bigger than this. So what does it mean? It's data created by consumers, by businesses. We call it video watching, social media usage, image sharing, and we're going to see this in the coming minutes. Yeah, again, I think some of you already saw this interesting graph, which is in 60 seconds what kind of data is consumed. So and this is again in 2013, 2024. We can imagine it's much more than this. But yeah, just to give you an idea here, so 72 hours of video uploaded in 60 seconds. I think we can add 2 zeros next to this one for 2024. So it's growing exponentially. Netflix, Snapchat, Amazon, and so on and so forth. So you will have the slides so you can have a close look at this. But as you can see here, there is a lot of data, of information that is exchanged every second. And it's accelerating. Here, another concept of saying that data is never sleeping. So this is really, we said 60 seconds, but it's non-stop. With the time zones and so on and so forth, there is no pause. It's just growing and growing and growing. Again, just another view of how data is consumed. So I think you will all experiencing this. You're going to Netflix, you are using Amazon, you're going to websites looking at products, you're going to AliExpress. So this is just business as usual. And then another concept is that companies, they leverage this to create business. So then there was this emergence of the digital company. I work for a digital company. So we have this list here that is evolving every day. So we had those businesses that created their businesses around digital. So Apple is one of the biggest one. So market value, this was it was a long time ago, 2015, 764. I think now we are closer to 2,000 or even more. So it's just crazy. So the market cap of companies, of digital companies, is exploding. It's really going much faster than any physical or traditional business. So it means something, meaning that that there is clearly a direction. As you can see here, the top 20 is trusted by USA and China. No surprise. So we speak about the FANG. Maybe you heard about this FANG. So Facebook, Amazon. Yes?
There's one Korea 19.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not sure if, do you know this company?
Yeah.
It is still.
Like Google. It's like Google. But
It's like Google.
Korean version.
Okay, and it's still a leading one. You see, so but yes, it's really the what we say is that winner takes it all. It's really this concept in digital. This is very important. So when YouTube came with their concept, even if someone comes with a better technology, it's too late. YouTube has already took everyone and a lot of users and customers. Okay, so this really, it's very important that the first one who takes the risk takes the leadership and takes the market.
Why there is no French company?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Do you know why?
France is very good at technology. Why
Yeah.
they don't have French?
Yeah. There is when we were in the MBA, there was an interesting professor that told us France is like China for engineers. So it's the cheapest engineers in the world. They are in France. Meaning American companies, they take engineers from France because they're very cheap. Harvard Business School, it costs $400,000 to educate an engineer. Here, for 70,000 euros, you have a very good engineer, same level. So yes, as you said, France is very good to have technology, brains, etc. But France doesn't take risks because everything we see here, all the countries, all the companies here, they took risk. Here, it's risk averse. It's not only France; it's the whole Europe because it's history. It's always like this, always looking at what is the risk, and if there is a little bit, no, I don't do it. Okay, so it's interesting for business. I can speak about this. It's for business. U.S. companies and China companies, they love France when it comes to products because they are very picky. They are very difficult to convince. So French users, France as an adopter of technology, they are the last adopters. Okay, they don't create technology, they don't use it. They always wait for everyone to use it. But once they use it better than the other ones.
Yeah, it's true.
So
just one question. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Because in France, I think the landscape of the ranking will be different from this. Because I just wonder whether French people are really looking for local app or web, or they're also really enjoying the US app or web.
in terms of usage,
Yeah.
I think all these guys are global. They went global, and France is just another user as the other ones.
Okay.
I don't think they. Yes, and they try sometimes to come up with like Google. They have a kind of never, but once they put it on the market, the technology is good, but they don't have the money to scale, because the bank says no. You need to show me it works, but how can I show you it works because I didn't test it? So no, there are no funding. So Macron has did a lot of effort these years when he started to help the money fundraising to have more licorne. What we say licorne is 1 billion more of revenue to help because there are a lot of great companies in France, but they stay very small. And what they do, they go to the US. So in every US big company here, you have French people everywhere. So there is a very, very, very clever guy that we have in France. He's called Luc Julia. I really advise you to look at this guy at his Wikipedia page. He's the guy who invented Siri. Siri for Apple. He's French. So very clever guy, but he could do it in France. But nobody would put €1 on him. So he had the ideas. He's very clever. So Luc Julia is a very famous guy, and there is a big yes, it's this guy. So now they are in court with Apple because he's saying, Apple, you need to give me all your money. I invented everything for you. But yeah, he's a very, very clever guy. I'm not sure he's looking for money, but still, he really invented big things. He's French. Lot of French people everywhere, but not in France. Yeah, so this is sad. But it's going to continue. It's not going to enhance, even if there is Macron or anything, because it's the mindset which is risk averse. I don't take risks. So, and you can't build companies, you can't build states. So you look at Singapore and everything they do, it's really based on calculated risks. They don't hesitate to go from but again, there's another concept is that these new countries, they go from a blank page. In France, you have the legacy. So you have a lot of regulation, you have a lot of things that does not help to accelerate. But in a way, if we go back to your point, France, they have wine. But why they have wine? Because there is regulation, a lot of regulation to make the best wine. Because there are a lot of rules, AOC, etc. for cheese, etc. It's because there are a lot of rules. So when you have a lot of rules, it's sometimes good. Yeah. So yes, that's why other countries, they can't have the same quality in wine, for example, because there is a regulation. So sometimes you can win, but for technology, not good, because technology, it's about a concept that is very important, which is going fast. And going fast with regulation does not work. Okay, so yeah, another graph that is interesting to look at is really how the market caps are evolving. So as you can see here, it's really growing so fast between 1995 and 2015. Again, coming back to this concept of lot of money coming, a lot of money. It's really crazy. So now every little tech company, they have 100, 200 billion of market cap. Lot of money coming because digital is the future. And yeah, and the ranking, it's interesting to look at the ranking. So as you can see here, there are a lot of companies that disappear. Netscape. So it's very easy to disappear in the technology space because there is concept of going fast, and then what means the corollary, as we say, is disruption. A company can come and disrupt the other ones and take everything. But now we start to have some companies, just like Google, Amazon. They have so much cash that they can buy anyone in the market that comes with a disruptive technology. Very easy. So it's really, I don't see how an Apple can disappear typically, because they have so much money because of this growth. They can, if there is a new technology coming, they can then take the best one and buy him before he starts getting money. Yeah, so this is interesting. The gross merchandise value. So again, e-commerce, e-business revenue in a way is booming, as you can see here, and you can see Alibaba is one of the huge winners in the market. And again, if we go back a little bit about this graph looking at profitability and interactivity, we can see that there are let's say new media and platforms coming. So right now we speak about platform economy. It's really about, this is exactly what we're doing. I think today we are in a meeting. We are in YouTube. So YouTube is clearly a platform. The number of views generates revenue, etc. So everything is connected, and information flows, etc. So this is just a great example of why we're doing this. And then going to another concept of mobile. So again, I think you see where I'm going. It's a great business opportunity. So mobile. So just to step back here, there was no mobile in 1995. Okay. 2014, we have smartphones and feature phone, and we have 73 population penetration. So I think 2024, we can roughly say it's more than 90% population penetration. Means it's a very important channel today to do business. And then when it comes to how time is spent, Again, some interesting data. Maybe you can identify yourself in this. There is a lot of time spent on mobile and desktop and laptop, which is quite interesting, representing more than 80% of the total. But as we can, in 2008, sorry, and then moving to 2015, you can see the size for the mobile part. So transactions are happening now even more in the mobile. So when you go to a business, e-commerce, it's very important to keep in mind that people are going to buy in the mobile more and more compared to before. When they in 2010, I would have said that you need to make sure that everything is working in your computer and laptop. But now it's moving, it's changing. Here, millennials, how are they using the mobile here? So as you can see, there was an interesting survey about how they do this. So yeah, just a funny one. When I wake up, the first thing I do is reach for my smartphone. So it gives you everything. So this is clearly the way. This is clearly where it is going to happen. So people might wake up and do a transaction in your website if you manage to be the first thing that they think about. So yeah, this is really an impressive growth we saw in mobile. Another graph showing here the percentage of page views coming from mobile. Again, it's exploding. No need to comment this slide, and of course, yeah, you see Europe, one of the last adopters. Coming back to my point, unfortunately, it's always like this. When something comes up, early adopters are more Asia and USA. And what's interesting is there is this Africa exception that you can see here. Because it's what we call the leapfrog phenomenon, is that they had nothing and it was very expensive to go to computers, etc. But they went straight to mobile because it's less expensive, and they adopted faster. So there are a lot of examples of mobile payment. So today, one of the best, the most developed countries in mobile payment is Kenya. You see, because yeah, they had nothing. And the product was there, technology was there, so they just went through it very quickly. So it's called M-Pesa. B2C. B2C commerce sales worldwide by region. So then now we can see dollars. I think you like dollars in this room. I can feel it, know a little bit. You're here for business, right? So yeah, so as you can see here, APAC, Asia Pacific, 301 in 2012. And it more than tripled in 2017. And we can imagine that it more than multiplied by 10, I guess, between 2017 and today. And worldwide, of course, it's going there. So, and then we're going to move to this topic of globalization, because now it's not going to be about a country or a region. We're going to global. So every time there's something new, it's going to get global very fast because of information flowing very fast, because of internet and so on and so forth. So everything can scale very quickly. If you have the right product, the right launch, you mobilize a lot of money. So again, funding, you can reach the world very quickly, and then things can really go skyrocket very quickly. France, again, sorry, not the biggest ones. But still, let's not forget France is a very small country in the world. It's only yeah. In terms of weight, it's not that big, because in France people think that France is very important and big, etc. But it's very small compared to India, Japan, China. So yeah, looking at here at e-commerce growth, still the percentage of change is slowing down a little bit, but still. I think it's key to think that yeah, compared to for example to China, where the sales growth has been phenomenal, 93% in 2012. So again, adoption rate is not the same it's not the same in France compared to other countries. Yeah. So yeah, now maybe we can I think we're good on time. We're going to switch to another presentation. But yeah, please stop me if you have any questions or comments or yeah, thank you. I need to go. Oh yes, 39. Perfect. 39.
I think maybe 10 minutes, we have 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes we do a break?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
6:50 until 79.
Perfect, yeah. And then sometimes I'm going to accelerate a little bit so we can move to the social mobile analytics and cloud part. But is it going well so far? Do you like it? It's. I'm looking at my friend. Okay, I spoke about globalization. So everything is global now. And one interesting phenomenon is the cost of technology is going down. This is really, really crazy these days. Yeah, the cost to compute went from $527 to 0.5. So this is really, really crazy. So which means that everything that sounded impossible in the 90s is now possible. And same thing here today. So we need to dream big in a way in 2024, because things that can seem very costly, you need to keep in mind that the cost will go down in the coming years. So in a 10-year scale, it's not a lot, 10 years. Huh? So yeah, sorry. Yeah, global compute cost, the global storage cost. Again, we're going to speak about cloud, so keep this in mind. Storage cost is going very, very down. I think you all have maybe experienced this thing. You bought a USB key. USB key was very expensive 10 years ago. And today, 1-2 euros on AliExpress, you have a USB key. So it's really different. Yeah, I think you all experience this cost of storage going down. Same for bandwidth. We speak today about 5G, 6G with your mobiles, etc. So this is good. This is real. Internet cost, etc. Maybe the cost is not going, let's say, that much down, but you get more bandwidth. It's faster, etc. So all this, let's say, acceleration and bandwidth cost trend going down is going to create more services. Okay, lot of opportunities because of this bandwidth. So we can consume more services, and then it implies that everything is going faster. So overall speed of business is going fast. So yeah, here just some selection of on-demand company fulfillment times estimate. So yeah, I think here just to give you an example of transportation within minutes with Uber or Lyft. Yeah, so you can order food, and so it's really accelerating all the business supply demand with digital. And one important thing is that we have less and less focus as humans because everything is going so fast. So then user experience is a very key topic. So winners are those who come with the best user experience, the simplest one where we can do things fast, and this will come back to a phenomenon that is going very fast right now. Some people say that this is as big as internet in terms of technology, which is generative AI. And generative AI is exactly this. Is really going to use cases where we could guess what the user is expecting or wants, and doing it very fast. So yeah, I think it's a different topic that is a bit scary, but as scary as in 2001 when internet came, because everybody was afraid of internet. We can be afraid of Gen AI today, but the opportunity is big, and then business opportunities as well. Yeah, Airbnb, Uber, Instacart. So these are examples of very, very good user experiences that help them take big market share very fast and be the number one. And nobody could come and disrupt. For now. Yeah, so World Wide Web creation. So yeah, no need to spend a lot of time here. So there is, yeah, thank you. Let's go to this, but yeah, just to keep in mind that we really went from very far away to come up where we are today. So it really started, as I was mentioning, internet, World Wide Web, very small thing used for just storing data to becoming today the e-commerce that we all know. Netscape, look at this. This was the best web page that we could have at the time. And now today, internet is everywhere. And then it impacted the way we buy, of course. So Amazon, etc. I think no need to develop this. Just examples here of also some drawbacks. So we said, the way we buy, but again, but also, the way we buy media, but also music. So you all experience streaming websites, streaming apps, Spotify, and so on and so forth. Listening to music, again, an example of how things went, watch movies, Netflix, and blah, blah, blah. And a key thing here is that, it's a generational thing. So these are your customers. So millennials, and as you can see, from non-millennials to millennials, there is really a huge gap and change in the way they consume. 12% non-millennials using online to 34% for millennials. So yes, I think you can think about, of course, addressing non-millennials, but keep in mind they're representing, let's say, a segment that is smaller and smaller. So you can't ignore not going to e-business because this is where the money is. So you're missing a lot of money if you're not selling to millennials through online.
Millennial means they are also born after 2000 years old?
Yeah, that's it. And the way we interact as well. So we go to Facebook. We discuss with Facebook. As you can see here, YouTube. We are all connected through YouTube. The way we communicate. So Twitter, now X, WhatsApp, of course. And it's interesting. The most used apps in the world are communication apps.
I think there's two Korean ones there.
Yes.
Line and KakaoTalk.
Wow. You should be proud because there is no French one here.
One Chinese WeChat.
Yeah, and
The other one is American.
yeah, and I think I'm using another one. I forgot the name. It starts with a B, but still, there are new ones coming, and Telegram as well is taking a lot of market share here. Yeah, so services. Just examples here about using these apps to provide services. So Shanghai government using WeChat. Slack for collaboration, sharing pictures with apps, and again, linked again to what we just discussed, this number of images and media shared between people is growing and growing and growing, and through the same media. So you can imagine that those big companies who are in middle, those platforms, they are sitting on a lot of money. I think you all heard about Meta, etc. And I think Meta is a good example. So you know Meta. Meta is the mother company of the old Facebook. So these companies can take risks. So you heard about the metaverse, maybe. Metaverse is a catastrophe. It costs a lot, and now they took it out. They removed it. But you can still look at the Meta stock. So these companies can invest a lot of money, test things, and if it doesn't work, it's fine. We have cash, no problem. we will still survive. So this is a bit scary because no company in the world can put as much money as them in metaverse. If another company did it, they would disappear. We won't see them afterwards because it didn't work.
Last week, the price of the Meta.
Plus 20%. First time in history. First time in history. Why? Because the results.
There's a good profit.
Yes, profit was exceptional. Exceptional. Again, it's always much more than analysts expected. When you do this,
20%.
the share. So it's the first time it happened in history. It was 200 billion of new market cap just in a few hours. So yes. Yes, we do a little break for 10 minutes.
한 10분 정도 네, 그럼 2부 시작하겠습니다.
Okay. Let's go. So we will continue with the first part, but I'm going to accelerate a little bit, which is still around the introduction of e-business, and then we look at the framework. Okay. So yeah, we spoke about the way we buy music, the way we buy services, and so on and so forth, but as well the way we learn. Yeah, Coursera, maybe you heard about this platform. So what they offer is learning. So today, any one of you can create a course, a content on your specialty, and you can be a teacher and have your course and generate money from this. I don't know if you know Coursera. The way we work together. I think this is very simple. No need to develop the way we are doing today with YouTube, with the collaboration on documents. So on PowerPoint, on Word, we can have everybody connected and updating one document very easy. So coming back to your example, you are a journalist. Today we can have a lot of people. You can create your document and share it with a lot of people, so they can review and update your article. So yeah, the way we buy flights. Skyscanner, Hipmunk, etc. So again, it means business opportunity. If everyone going to Skyscanner, it generates money from advertisement, but as well, all the flight, the carrier, etc. They need to go through this. The way we book accommodation, so Airbnb, you heard about this. So this company that they took the hotel business. So again, one website, a community, a platform, and then they become a new competitor to hotels. So you can imagine this tomorrow to your business, or you can do it to your area of expertise. Taxis, Uber, we discussed this. The way we manage money, so banks. So we have traditional banks. We have e-banks like Bourso, Bank, etc. And now we have neo-banks, Revolut, typically. So these banks are just disrupting the business again, coming with more digital services. The way we meet, Tinder, maybe you heard about this. So today, millennials, they meet on Tinder. They don't meet in the restaurant or etc. So you can imagine the person who thought about this, someone that went to the e-business course of Mehdi, for example, and saw that more and more million people are going online. I create an application so they can meet, and there you go. You generate a lot of money. You see? So in fact, you can just come back to e-business is here, and you look at what everybody is doing. Millennials will do it online. You create the service and you are rich. Very simple. Or the way we access information, we spoke about this. So Google Lens. So this one didn't work typically, but again, it's it's the chance for those big companies that can put a lot of money and test. Like the metaverse. So Google did this, didn't work, but still some worked. iPad. Typically, because iPad in the beginning, everybody said it's not going to work, but then we're all using iPads. You can see it here. The electronic device business booming, and it's an example of course, the electronic chips business on itself, but still there is clearly let's say a usage that is growing and growing for laptops, headsets, etc. The way we attend events, this is interesting. When you go to a concert, everybody has a camera and filming. So there was also, I like golf, so there was a famous video of a picture of Tiger Woods driving, and there was nobody watching Tiger Woods. Everybody was looking at his his phone taking a picture, except one person was with his beer. So it's very rare now to live the moment. You consume things differently. His business is transforming industries more than ever, of course. So all the businesses you can imagine, anything. You just sit down, think about what's the business, and it's going to be disrupted by internet, and tomorrow by Gen AI. So everybody's saying this. It's really wiping out companies. So companies disappear one after the other because digital comes back, and it's only those who can adapt that can stay, and the other ones they just disappear. But as I was mentioning, we can see it as a threat, but also it's a huge opportunity, because as I was mentioning, you just need to think about what is not in internet today, and you put it on internet, and you are rich. So so this thing, we call it digital transformation. So I spoke about Accenture. It's exactly what they do. They come to companies. If you don't do digital transformation, you will disappear. They show them this picture always. So, you can see it as, it's very expensive, etc. But if you don't do it, you disappear. So then, now we're talking about your business. There is something that we do, that I used to do at Accenture, which is assessing the digital maturity of a company, because this is where you see where you are as a company and where you could go. So there is this framework. There are a lot of frameworks. So digital intensity versus transformation management intensity. So as I mentioned, the beginners, so the one that they're just taking over. There is those who try everything, the fashionistas, but they don't get results. Then you have the digerati, who are like the best ones, and then you have conservatives. But it's interesting to see that still this is an old one, but we are still there. Beginners, so France, beginner, clearly. In terms of industries, it's interesting to see that some industries adopt technology faster than others. Okay. Typically, I'm focusing a lot on manufacturing. Mm-hmm. Clearly, manufacturing, they are the last ones. They don't want to take risk, but they're paying a lot for this. So typically, cybersecurity. If you don't update your Windows in a plant, the plant can go down. If a plant goes down, doesn't work, it's millions every 1 hour of lost money, because when production stops, cars, for example, don't go out from the plant, and money is lost. So it's a huge risk for manufacturing companies, and now they're trying to go there, but still, we spoke about telecom, of course, with 5G, etc. They need to develop themselves. Pharmaceuticals, still beginners, but I think it's going up now with clinical trials that are digitized, etc. Travel and hospitality, of course, they're one of the best ones, and of course the one that are the best ones in the field, high technology, of course. So typically just my company, because it's about digital. So you need to be the first one in adopting digital, so we can sell it to customers. Any questions so far, or comments? Okay. A model to build the digital vision. I think it's always very complicated to discuss these things in a very few minutes. But you need to think about what's your customer-facing process and what are your operations at the back, and look at how you could improve it. Coffee break, we did it. We're good. So now we can speak about this framework. Okay, thinking about those 4 letters to keep it in mind every time you want to think about going to a business. Okay. Social, mobile, analytics, cloud. So, and what's interesting here is that it's not everyone alone. It's the sum of all of them that creates huge results. So we can take the example of Netflix. Social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. Netflix, It's a platform. So they manage. You know, they don't invest that much in advertisement. You will never see, or you see it very few physical advertisement. So they just use internet, word of mouth, etc. So they had a social strategy which is based on internet, nothing that is physical. Okay. Mobile, from the day one, they had the Netflix on your mobile, which is key because they knew. They went to the e-business course. They saw that millennials consume information in their mobile, not in their laptop. Okay. Analytics, they are one of the best ones in the world in analytics. So Netflix business is about using data to guess what would be the next video show you want to see. This is their business. So analytics. This is how they managed to differentiate themselves from the other. So this is AI, this is analytics. A key thing. And cloud, it's a cloud platform. Why cloud? Because, and we're going to see this in a few minutes, because you can scale fast. Without cloud, you buy a server with capacity, and if it's, I don't know, 1,000 gigabytes, okay, fine, tomorrow you want to go to China, what do? You need to buy 10 more other servers of 1,000 gigabytes. It costs a lot. With cloud, it's one click. I go to Amazon, I want 100 megabytes. Tomorrow I want 1,000, one click, and then you go. So you can scale your business quickly. Netflix, this is what they do. Scaling to customers, but also scaling their database capacity and the ability to process data. Social, so let's now move to social. So yeah, Web 2.0, what we call it, is really about Internet of People. Yeah, it goes beyond consumers. So it's really about, people today, they themselves produce data and share it. They create themselves social networks. This is what we call the platform business. And they sometimes, again, co-develop computer software. So it's what we call open source. Yeah, you have examples every time for each for everything that I say here. But yeah, forums. This is again a new phenomenon of having forums and having people support each other. So you can see it as a cost avoidance in a business, but also it creates revenue in some cases. And then social, why? Because as well now it's easy to create websites. You know, maybe you heard about WordPress. You can create your own business in a few seconds. Okay, and I think who already created websites for their business here? Yeah. I remember because I was with you. When we did the MBA together. One of Youngbei objectives was to create a business, so create a website to sell jewelry. So it's not very complicated to do it. It's really easy because the technology is there. It's more to think about how you're going to address it, which customers, etc. So it's very easy. 10 years ago or 20 years ago is very complicated. You need to have an engineer, you need to have a developer, etc. So now it's really getting very easy. Yeah, you can even go to Microsoft communities today, Twitter, and so on and so forth. Air France communicates with you using social networks. Skipping here because I know we have only 40 minutes left before the questions. Content sharing, Pinterest. Maybe you heard about Pinterest. I use it quite often. It's just amazing how the social phenomenon is key. This is I think this one has disappeared. But tags. But typically I use Reddit. Maybe you know Reddit. This is where you go to find information, to discuss with people, and to share ideas. Knowledge sharing, Wikipedia, it's one of the go-to websites when you want to see information, and Wikipedia is typically made by people. So it's about, again, a social. There is no a business in a way or someone selling here, but it's key to keep in mind that it's really pure social. Project sharing, Yeah, predication markets when it comes to trading, these kind of things. Online games now is just again possible because of the digital evolution we had. And yeah, how are social media different? It's because users are generating content. I think it's very important to keep this in mind. It's people generating content. If it doesn't, let's say, seem weird, it doesn't exist before. Like now, because it's normal, but it doesn't exist before. It's really something new. And yeah, so when you think about user-generated content in social network, then it goes exponential because people will communicate from one to another, and they will create ideas. They will improve your product all the time. And yeah, even more information. I think this graph is quite small, but as you can see here, everything is interconnected. And we are losing control sometimes. So you have a lot of complexity when it comes to big data. Not always easy to see which data you need. And this is where AI comes. In fact, it's kind of natural evolution. I think all of you heard about generative AI. It's really about this, looking at past data or existing data to generate content, as opposed to AI to analyze what could be some behaviors in past data. Yeah. For when it comes to a social project, here to sharing with you 3 questions. Always know who is your audience and what is valuable for them, and of course how you're going to measure success. Be it success being the number of people you have in your community, or of course think about just not to have a platform for a platform, but ask yourself what you are going to do with the data, with what they will. What this social project about could be thinking about monetizing at some point. Yeah, some examples here. Maybe you all know WhatsApp. WhatsApp was billions of valuation. It's 5 people, and yeah, they what they wanted to do is to have the biggest community, biggest number of users. That's why it was never. Always for free. You didn't have to pay. But what might not know, but it worth billions. There's a problem. How can it worth billions and there is no money getting in? Yeah. It's just because of one assumption. If they manage to get €1 per month from 5 billion of users, you see the revenue. So it's just as simple as that. So that's why it worth billions. So keeping in mind how you would measure success and how you would raise money, etc. So just 5 people building a platform worth billions. So this is really new in the history of business. Before you want to have 1 billion, you need to build a plan to get the second one, etc. Here it's exponential. Mobile, very important to keep. To keep the focus today. Everybody's using mobile, so I think all of you here have a mobile. So then, what is your mobile strategy for your business? Yeah, just funny things here. More cell phones than toilets. So we were thinking about Africa. Why are they special? Because it becomes a personal thing here today. There's a kind of love relationships with phones, whether you accept it or not. It's not just a technology. So people are attached. They use it all the time. Always connected. You can imagine yourself when there is no network, you're a bit stressed. So being connected is something key. And they give you this, and again, another framework is this: anytime, anywhere. I can do what I want, whenever the place I am positioned. Yeah, we will say this first thing you do when you wake up. They are fun, they are addictive, and they are used quite all the time. Yeah, it's a big business. Just keeping here, and what are they used for? So as we mentioned, they're used for everything. To say Happy New Year, to communicate with everyone. So communication, information, for fun, transaction, this is what you need to keep in mind for your business. And some mobile trends. So again, businesses around location-based services. A lot of startups getting created every day around how you could use this. For example, I don't know, Waze now is pushing some adverts where you are. So yes, so location-based services. Yeah, context-aware services, speaking to Siri, for example. Yeah, intelligent home screens. Yeah, I think we all have this. You can modify your phone so it gets dark at night and maybe more glowy in the beginning of the day. You use it to monitor your home, the temperature, your heart rate. Today in life science, there are some pills you eat. It goes in your stomach, and we can know a lot of information about your health. So and it's connected to a mobile. Augmented reality. I think this one didn't work that much, but still, it can come back anytime in terms of trends. AR with wearables. I think it's coming back. I think Apple is launching a new product here. There was some evolution on it. IoT. IoT is a key topic. So Internet of Things. So objects you will have everywhere. So we have more and more objects in our homes, but as well in the companies. So more and more sensors in the plant, and so on and so forth. And then it becomes a business. Cybersecurity. I have a story that I tell to my customers is about a casino in Las Vegas that has been hacked because of the fish tank. You know, fish tank? Aquarium. Aquarium was connected on internet, so the hackers went through the aquarium to hack the whole casino IT. So you see, means that connected objects need to be secured because they're connected to internet. You go to internet, you can break everything. So yeah, mobile technology. Some technologies are coming. Near field communication, NFC. With this, you can pay with your phone. You can open the door, your house, and so on and so forth. Yeah, here you can see all the applications, but still, keeping it in mind is about business opportunities. QR codes, again, it's really getting deployed everywhere, simplifying everybody's life. When you go to a meeting room, QR code to connect to Wi-Fi, for example, etc. Scanning or being scanned. Yeah, they're used in every business. So just here, you want to yeah, this is a trading website. You scan. You can move from your laptop to your phone. Bluetooth, again another mobility technology which is key. And you can, like, the possibilities are endless in terms of what you can do with Bluetooth once you have it. E-beacons, I think this one, yeah, some usages here. It could be in retail business for shoes and so on and so forth. It just tags, works with Bluetooth. Yeah, this is an example of the retail business to understand what's happening in your shop. Okay, so yeah, the question is always the same. Your customers are mobile, is your business? This is the question you need to ask yourself. Because if you're not, then you are missing customers' needs. And why is it special for business? Again, opportunity, no surprise. Brand awareness. So yeah, brand awareness. I think this is something that you know more than myself. It's the most important thing. So here's just an example of. I think this is American Airlines. So when American Airlines customer is fan, he can get a tattoo of the logo in his back, and he will become a forever loyal to you. Engage a one-to-one relationship. It's always complicated, but imagine with internet, you can have one-to-one relationships much easier and much faster. So lead acquisition, etc. I think you see where I'm going. Marketing, sales leads, etc. So it's really about accelerating all the business, the daily business. Be it just-in-time marketing with personalized messaging. And again, everything that I say here is with internet, e-business. Imagine tomorrow e-business with generative AI, where you could say on your phone, probably tomorrow, please send to all my customers my new product launch, and with the personalized message. So it's going to just in a few seconds you can address maybe 1 million of your customers, but not with this one generic message, with the one that is based on what they just sent on internet, on LinkedIn, or you see these kind of things. I don't know if you imagine typically, I don't know, I have one customer, but I don't have time to write to him, but I know he plays golf, for example. Generative AI can look at internet and see if he shared that next week he's going to play golf, I don't know, in Hawaii, and then generate a message that talks about this. So you get a personalized message, and it's not going to know if it's AI generated or not. Last week there was an example of I think it was 15 million euros of transaction that has been made because someone went to a meeting, but the meeting was a AI generated meeting, not a meeting, and the decision he took with not real people. So it's a bit scary, like internet in 2001. This is really my key message for you today. In the beginning of 2000, everything that you see here was very scary for everyone. But now it's just normality. And with Gen AI, we're going to this. The viral effect, I think it's something new. You can speak about this days. Viral effect is also about politics. So you can send wrong information, fake information very quickly everywhere, but also address your customers very quickly thanks to media. Push versus pull. This is a trend. Clearly, we can give thousands of examples. Before you want a job, you need to apply. Today, you just push information on LinkedIn, etc., and people come to you to recruit you. So this is the push versus pull strategy. Again, thanks to technology. Use the built-in payment systems. So now it's easy to pay with technology. So I think it's key to keep this in mind. Delivering personal coupons, offer tickets. It's never been that easy. Before, took a lot of engineering, a lot of thinking. Today, campaign can be created very quickly. Displaying advertising in mobile, different types of ads, and so on and so forth. Now, when you have music, you just have a buy now button, and then you can buy. This is just crazy when you think that 20 years ago you need to go to a shop, speak to someone, etc. This Tesco example I will skip. So we spoke in the beginning about social. What were the key questions? Here you have the key questions you need to ask yourselves for a mobile project. First thing here, what is the business issue you want to solve with mobile? Why and how mobile would help? And then, what's the appropriate technology? We spoke about NFC, etc. So this is really about pausing, thinking about everything we saw just before, and for a business, why launch a mobile project? Analytics, the third one. So analytics is about, as I was mentioning, assessing, using a lot of data in a very, very short time. So what has changed? Before, we had a lot of structured data generated by company, updated every month, and entries. Now it's exponential. Data is unstructured, generated by everyone, not only companies. It's real time. It's not a monthly update. And it's n multiplied by n series. I think it's very important to keep this concept. This is quite huge because we're speaking about real time, unstructured, and more people generating, so more data sources. I think it's a concept that is quite complex. I think we can skip, but if you want to dig a little bit, the three key let's say things we use to qualify big data is volume, velocity, and variety. We can So why should you care about analytics? Because it's a trend. If you don't do it, you will get be left behind. So just a number here, 64%. I think now we're close to 100% in 2024. Why? Because it improves your decision making. So you want to know if you should invest, you should buy this company or not, etc. You can analyze data very quickly and get some information that you could maybe challenge with an expert, but still you can have a competitive edge by leveraging big data. A huge business again, be it a technology provider or a company. And it takes time to go there, so not everyone is going there, but still a framework here. I'm not going into detail, but you have it. You will have it on the slides to understand big data. And analytics, why the questions you need to ask yourself when going to analytics project. What do you want to optimize? Because analytics is really about optimizing your existing workflow. And what are the data you need? Is it company data, user-generated data, and so on and so forth? And same question as for the previous examples. How would you measure success? It's very important. You take a decision. It takes now 1 week with a lot of people. How many people spending hours to take a decision? Decision with analytics. How would I reduce by 30%? This is an example of a key performance indicator. Cloud. We spoke about this. It's really about again very technical. I'm going to skip here. Single tenant, multi-tenant, technical words for types of cloud. Cloud computing, I was explaining this to the lady here. Cloud, there are three, let's say, big families of cloud. The infrastructure as a service. Here, typically, it's about you buy the infrastructure, and you need to put the software, etc., on it. Platform is IaaS plus the software. And software as a service, you will just need to buy the usage of the platform. So this is exactly in this third family. This is where you have ServiceNow, my company. So what we do is we sell usage of our technology. So companies, they just connect to a website. The website is hosted on a cloud that we own, and they pay, I don't know, €5 per user per month. And this is how it works. What's the advantage? They are not going. We are taking care of hosting, buying servers, but also managing the updates on the software, and etc. So the companies are just consuming the service. That's it. So they can focus on their business. If they are selling computers, they focus on selling computers. Not having IT department with software developers, engineers, to make sure it works or not. Okay, so this is why this business is trending a lot. And one other advantage is it's really about adopting the technology, not about modifying the technology all the time, and really going straight to what's important for the company. Yeah, again, the responsibility, very technical. It's only for more IT people. But again, I think the words will make sense for you. Yeah, so this is an example with the pizza of what's the difference between this. In a way, it's really about, you can manage the software by having your, as I mentioned, IT department instead of doing everything. With PaaS, we are more here, meaning you need to prepare the technology part on top of the servers. And for home delivery, is closer to SaaS, where you just consume. You just go to a restaurant and you eat, okay? Compared to what we used to do before, which is we make our food at home, which has a cost, of course.
Which business is bigger in Europe, PaaS or SaaS?
In terms of usage or companies? Usage, I think we are going to 50-50. Why? Because in some businesses you can't go to cloud, or it's complicated. Typically, military. Okay, military, they don't want information to go to cloud that is based in the United States when you're a French military company. So yeah, we have and yeah, I don't know if you know the company Atos. Atos. So Atos is an example of the French company that is dying because they did a huge mistake. Because when the cloud technology came, they said no, we will sell managing servers, and all the companies are going to cloud. Exactly. So they have the best engineers in managing servers, but nobody wants servers. And now with ESG, green technology, etc., all the companies, they want to say, I don't have a lot of carbon footprint, so I take out all the servers, because servers consume a lot of. So it's a trend. Everybody's okay with this. Everybody goes to cloud, no doubt. And again, just to focus on their own key core business. Okay, so just examples of SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS companies. So typically AWS, Amazon Web Services, they propose IaaS. So they propose the infrastructure, and then you install all the software you want. PaaS, it's about Azure, so you can develop. You do all developments on the infrastructure, on all software they give to you. And SaaS, Gmail, Google Docs, Salesforce, maybe you heard about Salesforce. So this is pure SaaS. You just eat and consume the software. So typically for Salesforce, so it's about it's a customer how do you call it, CSM, not CSM. Yeah, you manage your customer base, database, and so on and so forth. IaaS, this is IaaS, servers. Amazon Web Services, yeah, you can buy server capacity. You don't have to store your server, you just buy this and then you do a development on this one. And companies, they just sometimes go to AWS, they build the software and they sell it. And they sell SaaS.
One question.
Yeah.
Some people, they're scared to keep some their own kind of secret, their own company information in the cloud.
Yeah.
Do you think it's safe?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
The very simple answer is that do you have the choice?
We have choice. We keep in the server.
Server in your house, in your company, and you're going to pay for it. So the question is, the other question and the real question, how much your data is worth? How much are we ready to pay for the confidentiality of your data? That's the only question. Because in one case it's €1, in the other case it's 1,000 euros.
We think like
Exactly. So that's why military, they think, they say that data costs a lot, so then I pay a lot to store it. Okay? And so that's the question. If your information worth 1 billion, then you're ready to pay 2 million for storage in your house, your server, etc. This is the question. And as we said in the beginning, cost is going down. Okay, and if you want to store your data in your USB key, etc., then it's not always easy to use it. Tomorrow you travel, you want to access your data. You need to travel back to access your data. So it's in the cloud. It's you instantly have access to the data. So there are pros and cons. How much valuable your information is. So yeah, storage pricing, and so on and so forth. So this is AWS services. PaaS. Force.com. So this is Salesforce. So you can develop your own applications on their platform. And SaaS, I was mentioning, you just consume. So it's Gmail. Gmail, it's SaaS. You don't develop on Gmail. You just use your etc. So this is just to answer also your question in other ways. There is a trendy business right now. Is sovereign cloud. Is having a cloud that is located in your in the country you are. Again, it's more expensive than a global cloud, but still, so it's less expensive than buying your servers and storing them in your bunker in your company. Pros and cons of cloud computing. I think we're getting there. We have examples of Pinterest here, but the pros. Again, the topic of cloud is always linked to scaling business. You can scale easily. Here, going from 50,000 to 70 million users in 9 months. Wow. You can imagine if someone wanted to do this without the cloud, it will cost a lot, and it will take 10 years. So 9 months. So cloud projects, again, tricky questions. The tricky questions: what type of cloud service you want to go? IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS, and why using the cloud? Again, and losing some control, as Yongbae was mentioning. It's about losing control. You store your data in a cloud. You lose control of it. It can break down. It cannot work. You did a lot of issues. But again, it's contractual. So that's why Google, AWS, and Azure, they make a lot of money, because they give guarantee that the server is not going to go down. You can access your data anytime. So now it became a commodity. There is no big issue about this. But it can ruin your business. Maybe you remember BlackBerry. BlackBerry doesn't exist anymore. One of the reasons is that it was in the servers, the cloud was in the US, and that's it. And there were a lot of issues about US accessing data from BlackBerry. So we're going to finish a bit early than planned, which is good to give us more time to discuss. The tricky questions for each component of the SMAC framework. Social, again, ask yourself with your audience, what is socially valuable for them, and how to measure success, always. Mobile, what is the business issue I want to solve, and how mobile is going to help, okay? And what is the appropriate technology? This is key, because in mobile we saw a lot of technologies around mobile. And analytics, what do you want to optimize? It's always about a lot of data, a decision-making process. You need to ask yourself what you want to optimize, and which data do you need? Company, user-generated data, how to measure success, always, where the money is going to come from, and cloud. We saw the different types of cloud, and SaaS, so the restaurant-like being the best one today. And of course, why using the cloud? And as Yungbei mentioned, am I ready to lose control? Because you can't go to the cloud without losing control. Yeah, I think this was the end. Avec plaisir, avec plaisir.
박수 한번 주시면.
Thank you.